Some people say, I don't memorize anything. Okay, what's the point? Do they give you medals at regionals for not memorizing anything? You have two parameters, number of solved problems and penalty, and you should fight just for them. When I finished high school, I solved 1/3 of all code forces problems. I'm not intelligent. I have a very good knowledge solving 5,000 problems that help me that this problem is going to be one of the problems that I already solved. You are not hero, so try to learn from others. If you are not that intelligent, no problem. You saw this once, right? From now on, it's knowledge. I use knowledge instead of intelligence, and you can do that too. So, as this will be our first and last session, because I'm the coach for first division, and it's the first and last session for the second division, I wanted to bring your attention on importance of implementation. So actually, Deepak said something and also somehow ruined what I wanted to say, so it burned the idea. But very simply, consider you are expert on code forces and you are participating in a global round and someone else is candidate master. And consider the length of contest be 2 hours. You solve A, B, C in 1.5 hours, and that candidate master solve A, B, C in half hours. So both of you have the same problem, D, but you have 1/3 time than him. So for sure you can solve. So you already lost the game. And you didn't lost because you are not good enough to solve problem D. You lost because you were slow. Happy thing here is implementation and knowledge. You can grow a lot, almost unlimited. But creativity, as I said, it's almost impossible to grow unless you have to grow. So for example, when you reach code forces rating of 2,500, something like that, you have to improve your intelligence, because on that level, almost everyone is perfect in implementation and perfect in knowledge. So now the game is with intelligence only, and becoming better in intelligence is like you need to solve a lot of problems that they don't require a lot implementation or knowledge, but they require a lot of intelligence and they have a lot of pain. Like you can try JOI problems or AdCoder problems, AdCoder Grand Contest problems, and yeah, that is for above 2,500. But for below that, knowledge and implementation. So like, let's talk about the problems we had in our solving session, right? So that XOR problem, it was like you see and you understand it's Gaussian elimination, that's it. So I solved this problem in just 5 minutes. It was a very simple observation that we had with each other, that you need to do something with even and something with odd. And now this idea, be careful. I'm not intelligent. I have a very good knowledge solving 5,000 problems that help me that this problem is going to be one of the problems that I already solved. So maybe I solved at least 10 problems similar to this one. So that's going to be easy, right? So if you solve 10 SAC problems, the next problems are not that hard. So you see and see it's SAC. So the remaining is how to apply SAC, but it's SAC. So for me, consider the case. I'm not that intelligent to say, oh yeah, we need to label them 0 and 1. No, I labeled them 0 and 1 because I saw that in dozens of problems. So that is done. And then I see 0 and 1, and okay, we are going to do something with XOR, most probably. So I try it, and I saw, yes, this is working. That needs to be odd and even, so XOR, and then two choices, either two-set or Gauss, and it's about equations, so Gauss, and that's it. So for you, it was just intelligence because you never saw that problem before. For sure, I didn't solve this problem at the beginning. Everything I learned was in high school, almost everything, like 95%. And in high school, how I learned them, we had teachers like, they came, they said that this is Gauss. The students learn. So, and it for sure, it ruins minds. So it's not good teaching style. But okay, finally I learned super tools for solving any problem on Codeforces. So I learned almost everything you need to solve any problem. So I exactly remember that someone from 10th grade asked us, so in Iranian school, we have some special schools that you just participate in Olympiads. So you go there, you don't need to read the normal lessons others do. You just focus on your Olympiad. Either Olympiad it is like physics, math, computer, or computer, I mean informatics. We call it computer there. So someone from 10th grade asked us why there are still problems that you can't solve on Codeforces. Because we learned everything that is possible to appear in a problem on Codeforces. But yeah, for sure, I was not that skilled. This is the problem. So back to the subject. For the first time you want to solve such problem, it needs intelligence. But if you are not that intelligent, no problem. You saw this once, right? From now on, it's knowledge. So in your level, almost all of the problems are like this. They are just knowledge if you saw that problem before. Otherwise, it's intelligence. In our time, there were not enough easy problems to reach 4,000 by just solving easy problems. So when I finished high school, I solved 1/3 of all Codeforces problems. So from every 3 problems, I solved 1 of them. And I solved at least 1 problem from each contest from the beginning of history of Codeforces to that time. And I participated in almost all, at least virtually. So yeah, I solved a lot of problems. I'm not that intelligent. So I use knowledge instead of intelligence. And you can do that too. Knowledge and implementation, you can work on them. You can become better and better by solving not that hard problems, but for sure not easy problems. Problems at your level, and you will learn new things. You'll learn new things. You will get better in implementation, and you go faster. And for getting better in implementation, I have a few notes that are very important. The first is, you are not hero. So try to learn from others. So you implemented something, you got accepted. Okay, good. But try to read other solutions to see how did they solve the problem. In these 10 years of competitive programming, I tried to gather everyone's tricks in coding and become better and better. So I know how to code this efficiently, try to make it better, again better. For example, like SAC, 3-4 times I discovered a better implementation for that. Or for Centroid, I discovered 3-4 times better implementation in that. And even in some classes, I go and I try to forget how I implemented some topic, and I start coding with the students and ask them to try help me to produce the cleanest, shortest possible code, and we invent something new that is still better than last codes that I used before. So this is also important. You want to go implement SAC. You can do it as just one-time code, or you can put more time to find some way that will work for your life. So it's different. So you are thinking about it just one-time thing, or it's going to be something for your whole life. So try to put time and try to solve this patient. And for example, you can see some problems that I got accepted 3-4 times. I got accepted, I tried to make code shorter, cleaner, submit it again, even got some wrong answer, fixed the bug, submit it again. So don't think that every problem is just one-time thing. I got accepted, that's it. No, you need to accept it with the best possible short code, good solution. And also remember, don't try to learn a lot of tools. So when I say knowledge, it doesn't mean tomorrow morning start with CP algorithms and read every single page of it. No, by knowledge, I mean solving problems and add that problem to your knowledge. Every single problem can give you a new knowledge, a new trick, maybe very simple, very tiny, that you can't find on CP algorithms. But it will help you next time that you see something like that. So after you get accepted, try to memorize what happened, from where you started, what tools you used, and how you solved the problem, and what was the implementation. You need to remember that. You need to reproduce that again. So don't implement DFS in different style every time. So DFS is simple. Go for it in exact number of characters. So if we calculate the diff, it must be match every time you implement it. Like Dijkstra. Like every single algorithm that you go for it, you want to implement, stick to a single implementation every time. It makes your mind neat. So some people say, I don't memorize anything. Okay, but what's the point? Do they give you medals at regionals for not memorizing anything? You have two parameters, number of solved problems and penalty, and you should fight just for them. So anything you are doing, check before that. Will it affect any of these two parameters or not? If it's not working, it has not effect on them. So I don't know what is your culture, but for us, it's like people that memorize a lot of things are called like dumb people. So people make fun of them that you are not intelligent and you just memorize anything and that's it. But it's not the case. If you are intelligent, you need to say thank you to your mom and dad. So it's not what you did. So you had no share in your success if you are intelligent. If we need to accept this fact. So I don't know why this culture is against our efforts. I am a human. I think that I should be judged by what I did, not what others did. So if you are intelligent, okay, I don't care. I'm not intelligent, but I'm proud of myself, dedicated my life to competitive programming, and I solved a lot of problems. Maybe you are still better than me. Your rating is above me, but you're pointless. You're really pointless. Because if we consider what I did dozen times more than you. So I remember exactly something like this. There was a guy in our school, 1 year younger than me. So he was just wasting time, doing nothing at all, maybe coding just 2 hours per day, and won gold medal in national Olympiads. So everyone was just inspired that, wow, this guy is super smart and all. But no one was taking care that when he was in 10th grade, he was like in top 2 or 3 between the students in 10th grade. But after that, in 11th grade, he got one of the worst gold medals. I mean, we give 8 gold medals in Iran, and he was not, for example, in type 4 or 5. So in 1 year, some competitors passed him, but it didn't finish. After he entered university, he failed Math 1 for 2 or 3 times. I don't remember exactly. And he was really challenging to finish his bachelor. So consider the case. He was a superman that if he continued that path, he would won international gold medal, like IOI gold, but he didn't make his way to the team, so he didn't represent Iran. And after that, he was very bad in college. So you see, you fall. Maybe you are intelligent and you are above me, but I will catch you with my endeavor. So I'm trying hard. Someday, so as time passes, in your life, you can see as time passes, intelligence factor gets lower and lower, and try factor goes above and above. So when you are in a school, almost always only intelligence matters. You see guys that they are not studying at all, and they get better marks in school. But as time passes, the factor for intelligence goes lower and lower, and try goes upper and upper, and people like me that I have normal intelligence, but I really try hard, are more likely to win. That end games of the life. So the real games. So Olympiads in like school, it's just an elementary game, it's just playing. But life gets more serious and more serious. And who wins? The one that tried more. So you need to try hard, and with trying hard, you can increase your ability in implementation and also in knowledge. And don't go learn a lot of tools. That is very important. Let it go, and when you are forced to learn something, learn it. Actually, Deepak asked me to teach you something else, but I won't teach that because you are not ready for that. You are not in that level to learn that. So consider the case. you're an engineer and you have very basic tools and you are able to repair a car. Then somebody comes and asks you that, can you repair airplanes too? Maybe if at the beginning you're a bit afraid, but he'll come with a bigger set of tools, give that to you and ask you, you have a lot of tools, go repair the airplane. And you may be able to do that. But consider the vice versa. You were able to repair car, but by that automatic artificial intelligence integrated tools, but you can repair cars. And if they give you airplane, you can never repair that because your problem solving skills are not that much. The tools were doing it for you. So for repairing a car, you just open the car and say that tool, go repair that car, and that's it. But in airplane, it won't work. So you need to increase your tools inch meal very slowly and carefully. So let me come with an example, interesting and inspiring example. So people older than me, so I studied bachelor in Amir Kabir University, more simple to say Tehran Polytechnic. So it's easier name to say. So we had someone from past participated in ICPC regionals in 2010 that were very good, and they took place, I think, something like 30, 35 in ICPC World Finals. And after that, it took our university, the Tehran Polytechnic, to go to World Finals after 7 years. So 7 years, we didn't have any representative. Some older people of me that entered the university before me, they were talking to some of guys in that legend team, that super team that went to World Finals from Tehran Polytechnic, and they shared the problem with him. No, he was thinking on a problem very deeply and he was tired of thinking and so on. And they came into the room and he described the problem and they solved easily. So consider the case. Some international grandmaster was unable to solve the problem, and two something like expert people came into and solved the problem easily. And they were very confused that why he is not able to solve that problem. And guess what? He even didn't know segment tree and reached international grandmaster without knowing segment tree. And those expert guys taught him segment tree. And unfortunately, he discontinued from participating. I don't know if he continued to learn things like this. You know, when you don't know segment tree, for sure you don't know a lot other topics. Maybe he could reach legendary grandmaster, I don't know. So, you know, try to pick minimal tools like that international grandmaster I told you. So if I was you, I prefer not even to learn segment tree at your level. So SAC is okay, but segment tree is not. So I think, not all of you, I think that 1,800 is a bar for learning segment tree. And like Deepak wanted me to teach you something that it's for above 2,300. And you know, if you know some powerful tools, your creativity, your intelligence will go down because you are not able to solve problems with the tiny tools you have. And try this. You solve a problem, go back to it before implementation, try to see if you are able to solve this problem with a weaker tool. So you solve the problem using segment tree, good. Try to solve it with FEMVIC tree. If you were able to solve, try to solve it with using a sparse table. And even sometimes it's possible to use partial sum and that's it. So maybe it's just a partial sum, but you are overestimating the problem and using segment tree. I remember I had some student, he was super in knowledge, he knew everything. He implemented a lazy persistent segment tree on division 2 problem D. So in that time, I never implemented lazy persistent segment tree. I thought that it's impossible to apply lazy on persistent segment tree actually that time. So that problem was easily solvable using a simple DFS and arrays and that's it. Even no sparse table and even no segment tree. So he solved the problem with persistent segment tree because the title of the problem was persistent bookcase. So if you go read all of the pages of CP algorithms, this is your destiny. Do you like it? Okay, so stick to what you know already. Try to solve more and more problems. So practice makes perfect, and focus on implementation and solving more and more problems and learning as minimal tools as you can. So did I miss anything during I was talking? Because I got into DFS a lot of layers and I don't remember my parents actually. Okay, it was a pleasure to talk with you guys. Thank you. Have a good rest of camp. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell. By the way, YouTube thinks the video down here is just perfect for you. Give it a watch and let me know in the comments.